Welcome to Wait, What? Really? Where we dive deep into the world's most shocking stories, and today we're uncovering the 10 weirdest and most bizarre facts about the sinking of the Titanic that you probably don't know. From eerie coincidences to strange occurrences, these facts will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about this legendary disaster. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the mind-blowing stories we've got lined up for you. Alright, so, you know how everyone always says to avoid messing with ancient artifacts, especially mummies? Like those things are cursed, right? Well, get this. Rumor has it there was an Egyptian mummy known as the Mummy of the Princess of Amun-Ra being transported on the Titanic. This wasn't just some random mummy, though. It was said to be linked to a whole string of bad luck and even deaths before it even got on the ship. Some folks believe this mummy was the reason for all the unfortunate events surrounding the Titanic, like some kind of ancient Egyptian curse. I mean, think about it. A cursed mummy on a supposedly unsinkable ship? It's like something straight out of a horror movie, right? It makes you wonder if the Titanic was doomed from the start. Okay, get ready for your mind to be blown. 14 years before the Titanic sank, a novelist by the name of Morgan Robertson wrote a book called Futility. Sounds harmless enough, right? Wrong. This book tells the story of a massive, supposedly unsinkable ship called the Titan. And guess what? The Titan hits an iceberg and sinks in the North Atlantic. I'm not talking about some vague similarities here, folks. The details are crazy. Both ships were described as the largest of their time, both lacked enough lifeboats, and both sank in almost the exact same way. It's like this guy predicted the future. Was this just a crazy coincidence? Or did Morgan Robertson tap into something more mysterious? So here's where things get even weirder. The Titanic wasn't sailing blindly into the night. It was receiving multiple iceberg warnings from other ships. We're not talking about 1 or 2 warnings here, we're talking about 7 warnings in a single day. Can you believe that? 7 warnings! You'd think someone would have paid attention, right? But here's the kicker. The Titanic just kept on cruising at full speed ahead. Why? Was it arrogance? Overconfidence in the ship's unsinkable design? Or was there something else at play? It's mind-blowing to think that the disaster might have been avoided if they had just heeded those warnings. Talk about a missed opportunity. Chapter 4. A mysterious missing passenger. Okay, imagine this. You're on the Titanic and it's sinking. Chaos everywhere. People are scrambling for lifeboats. And then there's this one guy, vanishes without a trace. That's what happened to Thomas Andrews, the ship's chief designer. He was last seen heading towards the bow of the ship, and then poof, gone. Now some say he went down with the ship, accepting his fate. Others believe he might have taken his own life, unable to bear the weight of the tragedy. But the fact that his body was never found adds a whole other layer to this mystery. Did he somehow survive? Did he escape in a way no one else could? Or was his disappearance something stranger? Chapter 5. The Unsinkable Myth. Here's the thing about the Titanic that always gets me. It was marketed as practically unsinkable. I mean, they really played that up. And you know what's even wilder? Some of the crew members actually bought it. They thought this thing was invincible. There are stories about passengers laughing off the idea of lifeboat drills. They thought it was a joke. I mean, why waste time on a drill when your ship is practically a giant floating fortress, right? Well, we all know how that turned out. Talk about a hard lesson in humility. Chapter 6. The Titanic Inscription. Alright, this one might seem like a small detail, but it's always fascinated me. When the Titanic set sail, you know, that grand departure, it didn't have the name Titanic plastered on the back. Instead, it just had the initials RMS Titanic. Can you believe that? The full name in big bold letters didn't appear until much later in the voyage. It's like they forgot to put the name on the biggest ship in the world. It's just one of those weird quirks that make you scratch your head and wonder what the heck was going on. Chapter 7. The Role of the Moon. Now this one might sound a little out there, but some experts believe that the moon might have played a role in the Titanic disaster. I know, it sounds crazy, but hear me out. The night the Titanic sank, there was a full moon. And according to some, this full moon could have created an optical illusion, making it harder to see the iceberg. The idea is that the moon's glare on the water might have obscured the iceberg's outline, making it blend in with the waves. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? That something as simple as the moon could have contributed to such a massive tragedy. Alright, here's the part that always makes my blood boil. The Titanic did not have enough lifeboats for everyone on board. I'm not talking about a few people short. I'm talking about a significant number of passengers and crew left with no chance of survival. And here's the even more messed up part. The ship actually had enough space to fit more lifeboats. They just chose not to install them. They thought the women and children first protocol would be enough, but when the ship's going down faster than expected, that kind of thinking goes right out the window. Okay, check this out. There was this woman named Violet Jessup who survived the Titanic sinking. That's already pretty incredible, right? But get this, she also survived the sinking of the Titanic's sister ship, the Britannic. Talk about beating the odds. But here's the twist. After surviving not one but two major shipwrecks, Violet just disappeared, like vanished off the face of the earth. No one knows what happened to her. Did she go into hiding? Did she change her identity? Or was there something more mysterious at play? Alright, let's dive into the really spooky stuff. Some people believe that the Titanic was doomed from the start, not just because of the iceberg, but because of a curse. They say that the arrogance of the shipbuilders, the disregard for safety precautions, and maybe even that whole cursed mummy thing, it all contributed to a dark energy surrounding the ship. There are even stories of strange occurrences on board leading up to the sinking, unexplained noises, flickering lights, that sort of thing. It's almost like the ship itself knew its fate. It's enough to make you wonder if there really are such things as ghost ships, sailing the seas for eternity. Those are just a few of the weirdest and most bizarre facts surrounding the Titanic and its tragic sinking. But the mysteries don't end here. What do you think? Was the Titanic just a simple case of bad luck, or was there something more at play? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to uncover more shocking facts, don't forget to subscribe to Wait What? Really? For even more incredible stories. See you next time.